Anna Sokolova was born and raised in the small town of Syktyvkar, Komi Republic, Russia, not far from the local zoo, Northern Forest. From childhood, her parents took her there to show her the amazing world of animals. At the age of 5, Anna saw a leopard for the first time, graceful, with golden fur and piercing eyes. This sight left a lasting impression on her, but every time she looked at the aging leopards, whose movements were becoming slower and whose eyes were growing dimmer, Anna felt her heart ache with pity. She would stand by the enclosure for hours, whispering words of encouragement to the leopards, as if they could hear her. Anna didn't understand why these majestic creatures looked so lonely behind bars. One day, standing in front of the old enclosure with its peeling paint, she made a promise to herself: "I will grow up and save you." It wasn't just a childhood dream. It became her goal. From then on, every visit to the zoo was accompanied by a small notebook in which Anna wrote down her observations about the animals' behavior. She noticed how leopards reacted to sounds, how they ate, how they looked at the sky. Her love for wildlife grew with each passing year, like a flower blooming under the northern sun. In high school, Anna became fascinated with biology and read everything she could find about big cats. After school, she enrolled in the biology department at St. Petersburg State University, choosing to specialize in ecology and wildlife behavior. She immersed herself in the study of leopards, especially those in the Far East, which were threatened with extinction. Anna was a diligent student, patient and compassionate. Her teachers noted her passion and dedication. After graduating from university with honors, Anna returned to Syktyvkar and got a job at the Northern Forest Zoo. Her task was to care for the leopards, feed them, keep their enclosures clean, and monitor their health. Every morning she began with a tour, carefully checking on each leopard. Her heart broke when she saw an old leopard named Bars, with dull fur and tired eyes, slowly wandering around his cramped enclosure. At night, Anna couldn't sleep, thinking about how to give these kings of the forest back their freedom. Soon, a bold plan began to form in Anna's mind: to transport the leopards from zoos to their natural habitat. She understood that this would be a difficult journey, requiring knowledge, resources, and support. Anna began studying animal reintroduction programs and reading about nature reserves in Asia and Africa, where leopards could live freely. Every night, sitting at a table covered with scientific articles, she dreamed of her leopards running across endless expanses. One day, Anna came across information about the Kedrovaya Pad Nature Reserve in the Russian Far East, one of the last refuges for Far Eastern leopards. This reserve was famous for its programs to restore the population of these rare cats. Anna wrote a letter to the reserve's administration, outlining her idea to return leopards from zoos to the wild. Her letter reached a young ranger named Igor Vlasov, who was in charge of the reintroduction program. Igor responded enthusiastically, and after several months of correspondence, Anna was invited to visit Kedrovaya Pad. Without hesitation, she packed her suitcase, took a vacation, and set off for the Far East, full of hopes and dreams. When the plane landed in Vladivostok, Anna breathed in the fresh air, saturated with the scent of coniferous forests and the sea. Igor met her at the airport, shook her hand firmly, and said with a smile, "Welcome to the home of the leopard." Together they went to the reserve, where Anna saw for the first time the endless forests, mountains, and fields where leopards, bears, and tigers lived in harmony with nature. Walking along the trails of Kedrovaya Padi, Anna could not hold back her tears when she heard the distant roar of a leopard at sunset. It was the sound of freedom that her charges at the zoo so desperately lacked. Together with Igor, she developed a project plan called The Return of the Leopards. Anna was to become its leader, while Igor and the reserve team helped with the organization of quarantine zones, medical checks, and legal issues. Anna began to seek funding by sending letters to international nature conservation funds, such as the WWF and Russian environmental organizations. Her project quickly attracted attention. The story of a girl who dedicated her life to saving leopards touched the hearts of many. The media began to write about the return of the leopards, and the local residents of Syktyvkar were proud of their fellow citizen. Returning to the Northern Forest Zoo, Anna presented the project to the board of directors. Her passion and clear plan convinced the management to support the initiative. They agreed to transfer 2 aging leopards to the project, Bars and a female named Zara, who could no longer move without pain. Sponsors allocated funds for transportation and initial care. Anna sat for hours by Bar's enclosure, telling him about his new home, where he would be able to run through the woods. She knew he didn't understand her words, but she believed he could feel her concern. After months of preparation, signing documents, and medical checks, the day of departure finally arrived. Barza and Zaria were placed in special transport cages with soft bedding to reduce stress. Anna accompanied them all the way to Vladivostok. In Kedrovaya Padi, Barz and Zaria were met by Igor and a team of veterinarians. The leopards were placed in a quarantine area where they got used to the new climate and food. Anna spent every day with them, watching how Barz, despite his age, began to show interest in the world around him. His eyes, once dull, lit up with a new light. Zaria also began to move more actively, as if sensing the scent of freedom. The reserve team developed a rehabilitation program to restore the leopard's natural instincts. Anna and Igor patiently taught them to hunt using artificial bait. Months later, Barz let out a low growl for the first time standing on a hill in the morning sun. Anna couldn't hold back her tears. It was a moment she had dreamed of since childhood. 6 months later, Barz and Zaria were ready to be released into the wild. On the day of their release, Anna and Igor stood at the gate of the reserve, watching the leopards cautiously take their first steps on the grass. Barz stopped, looked at Anna as if saying goodbye, and then confidently headed into the forest. Zaria followed him, her spotted fur glistening in the sun. It was a triumph of freedom that Anna will never forget. The return of the Leopards project became a sensation. Zoos across Russia began contacting Anna, offering to transfer their aging leopard. Over the next year, 3 more leopards arrived at Kedrovaya Pod, and each of them was given a chance at a new life. Anna and Igor continued to work together, improving the program and attracting new sponsors. Anna Sokolova became famous in the world of nature conservation. She was invited to speak at international conferences, where she talked about her journey and inspired others. But for her, the most important reward was seeing the leopard's eyes shine with life again. Today, Anna continues to expand the project, dreaming of returning even more animals to their natural homes. In Kedrovaya Padi, amid the rustling of leaves and the sounds of the forest, she and Igor are writing a new chapter in the history of wildlife conservation. Their work is a hymn to love for nature and faith that even one dream can change the world. Anna knows that her journey has only just begun. Every morning, looking at the endless forests of the reserve, she whispers, "Welcome home, friends. Thank you for taking the time to read this story." Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel to support us. See you in new stories.